Hooty hoo! Guess who? It's the Night Owls.
Hooty hoo, it's Buffy and Jade.
And we're back with more vampires.
We're back with more difficult voice acting.
As long as we don't get Thomas, I think we'll be okay.
Or Larson, because he's rough. But,
Larson's gonna show back up. I can guarantee that. Like, I'm pretty sure he's coming back.
I might just have to give him a different voice. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah. I wonder how many nights
Lloyd
we've
Night
got.
Fever. I don't know. Because we played for a while last week.
Yeah, I mean, I read that this game wasn't that long.
Yeah, so we're probably like halfway through. So we went to meet the detective and we screwed it up by ringing the doorbell. And
Yeah, because I was stupid and didn't realize I wasn't supposed to ring the doorbell.
So he doesn't want to be friends with us. So we have 3 more chances.
Yeah, I screwed that one up. I wasn't paying attention, clearly.
No.
Oh well, Lloyd was never claiming to be the smartest vampire in the nest.
I mean, Lloyd didn't even want to be a vampire. This was thrust upon him.
Yeah, so, you know.
Yeah.
Okay. You notice something strange by the front door of your haven. A letter's been slipped under the door in a cream-colored old-fashioned envelope. There's no name on it, but you know it's meant for you. Opening the letter, it's clear it's been sent by someone incredibly old-fashioned, rich, or a fan of classic stationery. No normal person sends letters like this. It's probably some Sophie. Although, actually, why would Sophie send a letter?
It's probably like Larson.
The note is short and terse, written in elegant, delicate handwriting. You're cordially invited to a rendezvous at the Cathedral of St. John the Divine. I'll be waiting to make your acquaintance tomorrow night. Look for me closer to God. There is no other information. It looks like you have a mysterious invitation for the following night. Okay, so we're just sleeping again?
Is that the whole day? That's all we did.
Well, now it has accept instead of magic. Oh, we can pick. We can pick these people.
Yeah. Oh, there's a new person.
Yeah, hold on, this dog. Why don't you get yourself prepared before we stream? She's
Is
like,
that new
I don't
person
know.
the cathedral?
Where is the new person?
Oh yeah, up there at the top.
Oh, the
down
one.
Yeah, him. But was it tonight? Like, did the day change?
I don't know.
I assume this is tonight.
If we don't meet it, will we miss out?
I feel like we would, because he said tomorrow night. We should probably go there next.
Why does that picture look like Thomas without the glasses?
It looks like he's got like a cigarette in his mouth, like a little Frenchman.
What if we miss out on the friends?
Well, how many nights do we have? Like,
I don't know.
I wouldn't think that you could only meet one friend and that's it. I would think we'd have several nights.
Well, you want to go to the cathedral then?
I think so, but I don't know. I've never played this game.
Well, neither have I. You haven't been to a church since you became a vampire, or kindred as the euphemism goes. You've had to focus on concrete, practical things like survival and feeding. You've learned the essentials of the vampire experience, but you don't really have a clear idea of what it all means. The Cathedral of St. John the Divine is a New York landmark. You've been inside once before when you were much younger. You marveled at its Gothic facade. Looking at it now from across the street, it feels ominous. The prospect of an anonymous invitation to a secret meeting is a worrying one, but the venue is well chosen. It's hard to imagine a violent attack in a place like this, with eyes everywhere. You enter the cathedral discreetly. You've quickly learned this is an essential skill for a vampire. Don't go ringing doorbells. How to move without anyone noticing you. The full force of the cathedral's architecture hits you as you walk between the pews. If the architect meant to create the feeling of being small in the face of God's glory, mission accomplished. Based on the note, you're assuming that whoever you're meeting is somewhere in the front. As you step closer to the high altar, it feels as if something is dragging at your feet, as if the stone beneath you resisted your movement.
It probably is that they're, demons now and they're not welcome in the church.
Yeah. It occurs to you that many people might consider you a satanic creature, a vampire as you are. In movies, vampires can't enter a church. They're burned by the cross. Yet here you are. That means it's okay, right? There's an old man sitting in the front. You see only the back of his head bowed down in silent prayer. Your footsteps echo on the floor, and he turns to look at you. You can't take your eyes off him. He's tall, dignified, white hair, balding, a few strands escaping to the sides. He's wearing glasses and a simple clerical clothing. His eyes are warm and pale, too kind for someone like you. Something is wrong. You feel heavy, as if a giant hand was pressing you down. The skin on your face is burning. Perhaps unconsciously you expected something like this as a vampire walking into a cathedral. Only it's not the building or God making you feel like you're burning alive. It's the man, the priest.
Oh, what's he doing to us? Welcome, my child.
The priest's tone is kind. He doesn't sound kind at all.
Well, he's burning us. It felt ominous.
The priest's tone is kind, but the rising panic inside you is telling you that kindness is not for the likes of you. Run! We didn't come all this way to run. We didn't come all this way to run away.
Oh, Lord.
The only way to understand these painful feelings is to push forward and confront the priest. As you step closer to the priest, panic rises inside you. The emotions are hard to control, fear, anger, pain, all trying to wrestle you in different directions, away.
Can I help you? Are you okay?
The priest talks to you like he would a lost vagrant who has chosen to enter the house of God. Please, it hurts! Please, it hurts!
Sit down and tell me what's wrong.
It's simply too much. You mutter something incoherent in reply. You don't sound like a vampire, an undead being made powerful by immortal blood. You're just sad. You're just another sad, confused, lost soul. You turn around and stagger away, only feeling like yourself once you're back on the street outside. You stand on. You do. You stand on the sidewalk, confused and scared. No enemies seem to be attacking you. The priest didn't follow you. The night air is wet with the smells of the city, the same as every night. This is the guy. Do you want him or me?
I guess I'll do him. How did it feel?
You look at the man speaking to you. He's well dressed, if a little archaic, dark haired, handsome like a character from an old movie. He smiles as if he knows something you don't. You glance around. There are people in the street. You don't appear to be in immediate danger. Who the fuck are you, man?
Please, calm down. I'm not your enemy. He is French. I told you he looked like a French.
You're not giving him a French accent. He sounds like a dope.
You do a French accent.
You can do it. You know French.
I'm gonna make a fool of myself. Let me introduce myself. My name is Benoit Segal. We share many things in common, even if you don't know me.
Benoit offers his hand to you. Benoit's brows rise in surprise, and he turns his hand to his side.
Would you mind sitting with me for a moment?
Benoit points to the park bench nearby, in darkness because of a broken streetlight. Wary, you decide to follow him. Only an enemy totally unconcerned with the masquerade would attack you here. Benoit sits down and you follow suit. For a moment, you both contemplate the cathedral in silence.
I know how it feels, what you just felt. I have experienced it myself many times.
For a moment, you consider how to respond. It's clear Benoit sent the invitation to come here and orchestrated this little setup.
You trying to get me killed? You just trying to get me killed, man?
No, it's possible you could die, but it requires an immense force of will to remain in the present. I knew you didn't have it in you. You pussy. I wanted you to meet Father Anthony, or see him, experience him. Did you wonder why it felt like that?
At first I thought it was because I was in a church, but then I realized it came from him, the priest.
I think you're right. It does come from him. It's his faith that makes you feel like that. He's safe in his belief while you are one of the damned. Do you ever wonder what's the role of a vampire in God's creation?
You stop to think. Of course you wonder what this is all about, whether it's about God or nature. You don't really know what being a vampire means. That's the trouble with the masquerade. A human faced with a human problem can go online and find something that helps. You can't. The masquerade means that everything there is to know about your condition is secret, hidden away. You're left relying on the unreliable opinions of people like Benoit. Suddenly Benoit takes your hand and presses it against his chest. As he stares into your eyes, you feel his heart stop.
My heart no longer beats, yet I move, I talk. Is that how God intends us to be?
Let me go. No, he didn't. I know he didn't. This is wrong.
Yes, I agree. The question is, can there be salvation for the likes of us? Sometimes I'm skeptical too, but in Father Anthony's presence, I know the faith is real. I know it because it hurts so much, but perhaps you have questions about faith in our kind?
Yes! What are we?
Screams it.
He's excited.
That is the usual story, but most of us believed, especially before modern times, Cain was the first murderer. As punishment, God cursed him to walk in darkness and carry his mark. Cain passed on his curse as he drank the blood of the living, and thus we were born. God's curse passed on to someone new with each embrace. Maybe it's true. Maybe we all have our lineages, our sires, and the sires of our sires. If you trace those lineages all the way to the top, you find Cain, the original vampire.
Alright, this is freaking loud, dude.
It is loud. Did it reset?
I don't know, but it is so loud. I'm just gonna turn everything down a bit. Jeez, that's better,
Okay.
I think.
Yeah, it's like I don't know if it's the effects or the ambience or what.
I don't know, but it's crazy loud.
I suppose God is cruel. The curse perpetrates itself, leading to new evils.
Did you have anything else, or did I just come here to talk about religion?
I know it's overwhelming. It was for me when I first met Father Anthony. I know there are others like him whose faith shines like a beacon. Priests or ladies, children, anyone can have that conviction inside them.
I gotta go. See you later.
This is too much!
I gotta go. I can't concentrate when I know the priest is still inside.
Like, really, what is the point of this guy?
I don't know, I thought maybe he'd be a friend, like it would lead to like a new friend, but...
Benoit nods patiently.
Let's meet again in a few nights here at the cathedral. We can talk more after you've thought it through.
You leave Benoit sitting in the shadow of the cathedral, contemplating what lies within. It would be easier to ignore his words without the reality of what you experienced. Father Anthony was holy. You know it to be true. But what does that mean? Yeah, that was a whole load of nothing. Like, he's just like, I'm going to invite this fledgling here just to tell him about how vampires and gods and religions and all that.
How we came to be.
Like, where did he even, like, find out about him? It's weird.
I thought it was like lead to like him being a possible friend. Is what I
That's
thought.
what
he was
I
gonna
thought,
do.
but it's not happening.
No. But we can still, it's the same night, we can still meet somebody else.
Alright, so who do we want to meet then?
The crazy lady.
The Farrells?
Or the feral lady.
What, this one's a crazy one? They're all crazy. She literally basically said they're all crazy in different ways.
They are. This is her, the Machiavellian clan. She just described them all as like unhinged, so I consider them the crazy ones.
Alright, we'll go with her then. It's a quiet, moody internet cafe. Half of its space serves as a comfy coffee bar these days, but behind a glass wall, it still has a space dedicated to rows of PCs. From the street, you can notice tired adults in casual clothes typing away absent-mindedly, and some bored kids wasting the late evening hours on their colorful online games. If Sophie's intel is to be believed, this is where Hope has set up her haven. One of the waiters is standing outside the building, gazing at the sky with a smartphone in one hand and a vape pen in the other. You approach the man and tell him. I'm here on official
business. I'm looking for Hope.
He releases a soft chuckle.
Yeah, you and me both.
The man slowly takes a drag from his e-cig, sizing you up and down in silence. After a long, awkward moment, when you're ready to leave him be, he raises his voice again.
Come on, right this way.
He heads back into the cafe and you follow his lead. When you make your way through the space with the computers, no one averts their gaze from the spreadsheets, emails, Facebook profiles, or games of Fortnite. Nobody goes to an internet cafe to play Fortnite.
Right?
It's a common sight, one you wouldn't have paid much attention to a few weeks ago, but now it seems so unnervingly quaint. Would they still be spending their time like this if they were immortal? Why did it go to, like, the blackout screen?
I don't know. Like, I thought something vampiric was gonna happen.
The waiter unlocks an unassuming door at the end of the room and lets you inside. You two swiftly make your way through a labyrinth of sterile gray corridors, taking confusing twists and turns. Feels like you're traveling into a different world. Crossing one invisible portal after another. Eventually, you reach your destination. Your guide motions you to enter a dark room with a lone source of pale light, a computer screen in the distance beckoning you to come closer. As you do, you hear the doors shutting behind your back and a short chuckle echoing behind it. Is this the place? Nothing else to do but sit on a chair in front of the computer. The monitor displays a modern chat application. A cursor is blinking in the user nickname entry field in the middle of the screen, obviously expecting you to input your handle. After brief consideration, you type in something goofy. Oh, Lloyd, does this put his name?
Better play it straight. Prove you have nothing to hide as a gesture of goodwill.
After a few seconds, the chat window opens and messages start appearing on the screen in quick succession. Hostage executioner. Just to be clear, I don't have a wank rag. Oh, for sure. No, for real. That was meant for Jerry. No, it's longer. Yeah, Jerry is a chat MVP. I mean, I've admitted to far worse things here. Oh, I'm so horny. Not sure why I'd have the need to lie about this one. Oh my gosh, literally, who cares? You and me both, bozo. Wait, who's
Bozo.
Lloyd? Lloyd? No idea. A new user. Wasn't here a second before. What the hell? Was anyone informed? No announcement. I know I wasn't. Jerry? Lloyd, identify yourself within 2 minutes or get banned.
I don't know if you want to be in this chat room.
The chat goes silent, everyone seemingly waiting for you to say something before proceeding. This must be a close-knit group. Better say something before they kick you out.
I'm a vampire.
Oh, they asked who he was. You sigh to let them know you're Kindred.
Kindred report again. Just here on some Kindred business.
Oh my gosh.
And it's the stream of responses. Kindred? Oh my gosh. Who is this clown? What a dumb fuck. Who the fuck are you? This was meant to be a safe channel. Investigating what went wrong. How did they even get in here? Stay calm. Can you get their location, Jerry? Yeah, sure. That's our Jerry. Gonna DM it to anyone interested. Oh boy, now you're in trouble, Lloyd. Yeah, you're gonna regret... Dumbass. They decided to spy on us.
He accidentally hit enter.
How could you use your power to get the chat room under control?
It's online.
I don't want trouble. I'm leaving.
The waiter brought me here.
It's his response to so tough.
Calm down. Fuck off. That one guy brought me here.
Doubtful.
Thought this American could be hope.
Yeah, I'm calling bullshit. Jerry, how are things on your end? Got the info. Nice. You want to die, asshole? You will die. You will die. Die. Die.
Did that person change their name?
He's just like, Kindred here, reporting, sir.
He's like Men in Black. He's like, sir, reporting for duty, sir.
With honors.
The best of the best, sir. With honors.
I gotta stop making Lloyd be stupid. He's gonna mess up all the friends.
He's not gonna have a single one.
Oh man. Sentenced to death for a shitty name their mom gave them. Tough shit. I'm literally on my way to kill you right now. Yeah, sorry to inform you, you're about to die. Rest in peace, bitch. You're getting your throat slit right now, right here, any day. A split second after you read the message, you feel someone's arms tightening around your neck. The violent return to reality catches you off guard. A jolt of pain rushes through your brain, paralyzing you momentarily.
You've come to the wrong chat room, motherfucker.
A ridiculous whisper rings out next to your ear, and the grip under your head gets even tighter. You start struggling, but even with your newfound supernatural strength, you're having trouble breaking out. This isn't a normal human you're dealing with.
Last words? Your charm sucks.
Sophie sent me here.
Langley?
The hand holding your chin shifts its position slightly.
Don't struggle or I will break your windpipe or my phone, which would end even worse for you.
Sounds of a camera shutter and light flashing. Did they just take some selfies with you?
Alright, that's enough fun. I'm letting you go. We can have a talk. Don't do anything stupid, Mr. Intruder. Pretty please.
The mysterious assailant loosens their grip on you and gently pushes you away. You quickly turn to take a good look at them.
Let me just finish this.
It's a pale blonde woman in her 20s, giving you a slightly judgmental look while rapidly tapping away at her phone on the screen. First, you notice her outrageous outfit, seemingly thrown together from random thrift store finds. Then, you take note of her tattoos, a sprawling tapestry of old patterns and designs covering every visible part of her body. At first glance, it all seems aimless, but it has a consistent sense of style upon closer inspection. Her eyes focus on you for a second.
Give you a scare, huh? Sorry, that's what you get for entering a lady's haven without her permission.
The freaking waiter brought me here, dude.
I know.
And she's back to her phone. With her relatively small build, it's hard to believe you had trouble overpowering her physically. But then again, nothing is what it seems when it comes to the undead. And even compared to the vampires you've met so far, she comes off as an eccentric, curious presence. She shoots you another glance, noticing you're still cautious of her.
Calm yourself, man. I won't pull anything like this anymore. It was just a, feel stupid saying it out loud, a vibe check.
Okay, they're pretty much all the same.
It's how you say it, I guess.
What?
Yeah, I got a glimpse of your vibe on the internet and in a dangerous situation. I'd say I've got a pretty good idea about who you really are. I'm Hope, by the way. If you're here, you've probably heard of me, so I went ahead and skipped the pleasantries. But come to think of it, I might have skipped too many of those.
Yeah, she definitely fits the description you were given by Sophie.
Anyway, don't worry about the chat. It was all a game to us. No hard feelings, okay? I'll introduce you properly later.
On the monitor, the chatter continues normally. Your visit is like yesterday's news, no longer relevant to anything.
Still, a word of advice? Don't be such a dumbass about security. Sending a message saying Kindred to some perfect strangers online.
Kindred reporting, sir. Here. He's a dork regardless. Like, we named him well. The guy's a dork. Like, he's a dork.
He's so stupid.
He might not look like a dork, but he's a dork.
He is. He's not very bright, man. You want to get off by the tower for breaching the masquerade? Or off by some Vatican fuckheads when NSA gets wind of you using their monitor keyboards? If it wasn't for my security measures, fucking hell, it's the 21st century. You should know better than this. But, look, if we're gonna talk about you, you should have something to say, too. What are you doing here?
About time she asked. Note to self. She really loves the sound of her own voice. I'm building a coterie.
His own coterie, nobody wants to join.
Nobody.
Sophie Langley sent me here.
Hope rolls her eyes.
Yeah, you've said that already. You think I'm an idiot or something? I'm gonna say this only once. Please, please, please don't be boring.
She starts tapping at her phone again. After a few seconds, some kind of realization dawns on her face, and she turns back to you.
Wait. Shit. Are you the new Langley plaything?
Word seems to be getting around fast.
Of course you are. It was obvious the second Langley got her hands on a new servant, she'd start building a network. Your mission tells me that could really come in handy when... But Langley, that's a risky game. This kind of ambition attracts too much attention. Piss off. But then again, fucking Kara.
I don't know what she's talking about.
I don't either. She seems to be having a spirited argument with herself, only parts of it audible. Is it just you, or do her facial expressions and body language change a bit between one sentence and the other? Before you make certain it's not just your eyes playing tricks on you, she focuses half of her attention back on you. The other half, of course, is still obsessed with her smartphone.
Listen, I'm not saying I'm not interested in cooperation, but before I make a decision, I need to make sure you sort of understand me and that I sort of understand you. And since I was planning to put on a show before you came here, I proposed a little game.
Hope absentmindedly spins her phone in her hand, considering how to put her thoughts into words. Then she approaches a switch on the wall and flicks it. Neon lights flare up, illuminating the room. You take a look around. The room is certainly unique. It looks like a butcher's room, repurposed to be a living space. The modern computer in front of you starkly contrasts the ominous industrial walls. At the back, there's an overwrought bed covered in velvet with meat hooks hanging above it. On top of the bed sheets, you notice what seems to be pieces of elaborate S&M equipment and a camera. Wait a minute.
You want my help? Moderate my cam show.
Cam show? Your eyebrows twitch involuntarily. This is definitely not the kind of request you expected to hear tonight. She notices your confusion.
Take it or leave it, buddy. You just became a kindred, but you want to become my partner in crime? Show me you can handle yourself while watching my back in everyday environment.
She's serious.
Oh my gosh.
The show starts in 10 minutes. If you think yourself better than this, better walk out the door right now. I won't hold a grudge. I've got better things to do.
As if to prove it, she looks at something displayed on her phone and cracks a brief grin. Another reply typed down with an absurd speed. Tap, 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 tap.
9 minutes. It's now or never. Show moderator. Risk of violating the masquerade. Hi. Content warnings. Oh, yes. So, do you take the job?
I'm out! I mean, if we want a friend, we're gonna have to do it.
We're gonna have to do it because he already screwed up with the detective. But
He probably
this
would have
girl's
made a
crazy.
better friend than this girl.
I think he would have made a better friend.
Why the hell not?
Hope brightens up and her smile looks surprisingly sincere.
Excellent. I promise you might find this interesting in more ways than one. All right, give me a second.
She
She
spends a
actually looks
minute.
like she'd.
What?
She actually looks like she'd have like a deep voice, but I already gave her this high pitched voice. So
Yeah, the
she's
voice
stuck
is
with
way
it.
off. But
I couldn't see her when it started the voice.
I was gonna take her, but you just jumped and took her, so.
You can have the next one.
She spends a minute setting up on the computer you used before, then urges you to sit down. The explanation of the moderator's functionalities is simple. It boils down to ignoring anyone who doesn't disrupt the chat, banning anyone who does, and kicking anyone who's causing minor trouble. 5 minutes later, she's already online, sitting on her bed in a provocative pose. It is a sex show, isn't it? Her voice, previously hushed, rings out with full force.
How are you doing tonight, hopefuls?
You peek at the chat. We're not worthy, queen! Fucking A. Angel! Hell yeah, time to fuck! I mean, I don't think anybody needs to kick your ban. I mean, they're just excited.
They're just excited. No one said anything yet.
You're tempted to try the kick and ban prompts as soon as possible, but obviously you won't punish someone for a little dirty talk.
Thank you! Today's show is quite special. Please welcome our new moderator, Lloyd.
Turtle guy. They're all laughing. Ooh, who? Sorry for sentencing you to death earlier.
Santiago wasn't here before.
At least the community here seems to be a bit more welcoming this time. Looks like this place has an established hazing ritual, or maybe they in Hope came up with the one specifically for you. Who knows? You decide to stay silent. Eventually people start riffing on you and focus entirely on the star of the show.
Alright, let's start this one with a bang, shall we?
It begins. Queen! Oh boy, she's gonna do it! So this is where the strip show starts. You raise your head, curious about what kind of performance she's going for. First, she opens her mouth and reveals her retractable fangs in front of the camera.
Uh-oh.
Right off the bat, the online audience is treated to a sight of her wholly human set of teeth turning into monster's maw. The image is both revolting and fascinating. She raises her left wrist for everyone to see, and then bites. The fangs immediately turn her arm into a horrifying, gory mess. It's unclear if she used them to slash or bite, but one thing is for sure, no ordinary human could cause such damage. If an ordinary human suffered such a wound, you'd expect a geyser of blood to appear too, but it doesn't. Hope's technically a corpse, so it's impossible. She flashes a monstrous smile and starts smearing vitae all over her hand to maximize the impact of the violent image. Then she starts drinking it up. She makes it a point to make the sight as gruesome as possible, looking like a hyena feasting on a corpse. The contrast of her behavior with her look of an Instagram model is stunning. Once she's done, she reveals her wrists to the camera for the last time. She starts making theatrical gestures with her right hand as the wound begins to mend. Shortly after, the wound is gone. It's like a magician's trick. Her left hand looks like nothing bad ever happened to it.
Here's an appetizer. First blood to kick off the show.
While you're wondering what the hell is going on, Hope catches a glimpse of your bewildered face and turns into your direction.
How was that for an opening?
This isn't a sex show?
Sex? What, were you counting on me getting naked in front of you or something? Oh, honey, we just met each other. If you expected a strip show, yeah, sorry to disappoint. This is more like, live stream digital art. The erotic subtext is there, of course.
You peek at the chat. They're going wild. She did that for free. I'd love to lick your wrist clean, my fallen angel. Yes! Nothing more arousing than a beautiful woman teetering on the edge of oblivion, her rose petal dancing in the eye of a violent hurricane.
Oh, he's a simp.
But eroticism is not the key here. It's vampirism. It's a new frontier, a living art installation. In the early 90s, the Japanese artists kept producing these videotapes with beautiful women committing gory harakiri. Those are an inspiration.
She bares her fangs again in a devious grin.
But I've no interest in auto-destruction or turning myself into a victim. This is a celebration of a body I love, not self-inflicted punishment. The audience came here to marvel at a beautiful vampire and her awe-inspiring powers. Mending wounds is just one of these powers. The people watching can pay to see more. Oh, and don't worry. The only things the audience can see and hear are the things I allow them to. We can talk freely. Just remember to moderate the chat, will you?
High risk of violating the masquerade. What a joke. She's blatantly breaching it in front of anonymous viewers. Still speechless, you turn your attention to the screen. I was thinking the same thing, Moy.
Yeah, she's just saying this is what I am.
He just popped in there saying he was a Kindred, which was stupid, but he's not showing it to the world.
It's not. And if they don't know about vampires, they wouldn't even know what that means.
No. Muy guapa. Alright, I'm feeling generous today. Have you planned your next tattoo yet? I'll pay for the next attraction. Looking like a pink marshmallow covered in raspberry sauce. Thirst victim, just letting you know you're based... I know. I mean, I don't know if anybody needs kicked or banned yet.
They haven't really done anything.
I don't see a reason to kick or ban anybody.
No. Like the one, was talking to Thirst Victim, but that sounds like they're friends.
Yeah. You let the guy vent his excitement. Seems harmless. A special message appears on the chat log claiming somebody has successfully sponsored the first goal of the show. Hope smiles and picks up a bag of blood from underneath the bed. It must have been retrieved from a blood bank. She showcases the label to the camera for everyone to see. Drink up! Drink up! Drink! Hope pours all the contents of the bag into her throat. You have no doubt it's real blood, but wonder why the viewers would be so satisfied with something that's so easy to fake.
Don't worry, it pays well.
You don't even bother to tell her this is not what you're thinking about. Safe to assume she knows.
So, what do you know about the Kindred and the internet? Have they told you anything?
While she is waiting for someone to sponsor her next vampiric feat, she decides to start a conversation. A vampire internet?
No, nothing.
Oh, makes sense. Not the first thing you teach to a fledgling. See, some of us used to experiment with our own secure networks. We tried to build our own information hubs, social networks, everything.
She's still working the phone in one hand while looking for something under the bed with the other. On how many things she can concentrate on time exactly? On how many things can she... That's a weird one.
Then one day the NSA got in. Turns out elders never really got the hang of proper security practices, or the sigils they used to smear on their screens didn't exactly work as advertised. Then, of course, all the other three-lettered intelligence agencies in the world got the intel, and a lot of them decided bloodsuckers were the perfect new enemies for our post-9/11 times. The Second Inquisition came into being. Ever heard of it? A lot of our kind died just because they were too present online. Right now, the remains of our old networks serve as government honeypots, kept alive to attract fledglings and hunt them down. You post a certain keyword on Twitter or Facebook, you get tagged for investigation. You fit certain patterns, you get tagged for investigation. Though there's a certain thrill in becoming an online presence without attracting attention from the authorities.
She stretches on the bed.
I hope you're still monitoring the chat.
Of course not. You're not as good at dividing your attention as she is. You correct your mistake and check the recent messages. Ah, is she talking to somebody? can't wait for the real thing to start. This 2 monitor setup rules. Call of Duty on one screen, Drop Dead Hotness on the second. The only woman I don't hate. Hope.
Oh my gosh.
More like my favorite hoe. Has crabs
Hope
and
has
gonorrhea.
crabs and gonorrhea.
Alright, that guy's getting banned. This kind of nickname only suggests trouble. You get rid of them permanently.
Good job.
She's keeping close tabs on you.
Anyway, yeah. When the Nosferatu admitted to Camarilla their network got compromised, the elders went batshit insane. Internet communications became strictly forbidden. They were executions. A lot of people who use social media to secretly contact their mortal families and lovers got offed. That goes without saying. But if you weren't careful, even the most innocent web usage could result in being punished with final death.
Thanks to user Dick Steele, the next goal has just gotten successfully funded. Let's go! Vanishing act. Dehumanize yourself and face the bloodshed. She raises her hand, 3 fingers up, 2 fingers up, 1 finger up. The countdown ends and she immediately disappears from the screen like a ghost. You can still see her on the bed, but the live feed indicates there's nobody there. When you deeply focus on the digital image, you swear you can make out some unusual glitching where her silhouette should be. But it could very well just be a placebo.
You ready for this? 3, 2, 1.
A flash of the camera. The instant she reappears on the screen, she takes a selfie, sticking her tongue out in a provocative manner. The chat room explodes and cheers again. She is their vampire queen. You briefly wonder about her being glued to the screen. Is this the fantasy everyone is here for? A girl showing off cheap magic tricks while lazily browsing her social media. You realize you're way out of your depth here. Meanwhile, Hope decides to continue her lecture.
Those were some wild times, especially in New York. While most of them have no clue as to our real nature, a lot of clandestine organizations have classified us as national threats. And since this is where the towers fell, the agencies are very much present around here, looking for easy PR victories. The last SI raid here was just a few years ago, and it was a big one, stirred up the hornet's nest something fierce. But although it's 2019, NYC is ruled by someone who got embraced before World War II, and the cam as a whole got really spooked and swore off the internet. Of course, they're not dumb and understanding you can't really coexist with modern kind without the internet. It's a gray zone right now, like piracy. Technically frowned upon, but let the one without sin cast the first stone. The SI is a real threat, no joke. But in many senses, the darkest place right now is under the candle.
You take another look at the screen. We want blood! How about some bat stuff? Can you do some bat stuff? Can you show us next time? It's been a long, hard day. Please give me a shout out. Jesse Hooker. A familiar nickname pops up. I mean, they're just kicking for spamming, or just...
I don't know. Like, are you supposed to kick this guy?
Oh, he's not saying anything. He's
He's
like,
just being a freak.
I
Could
don't
kick him.
know. Give the guy a kick for spamming the chat. The message is deleted so fast, Hope might not have even noticed. A duty carried out well. Your surprise is feel an inkling of pride.
Oh yeah, fun fact about being a vampire. We can sweat and pee if we exert ourselves really hard. Some of us can even orgasm. We can even cry, but only tears of blood.
That's a true blood thing.
It is.
It's something I always dreamed of doing when I was 14. So romantic, and it drives them crazy.
As proof of her words, a scarlet tear starts running down her face. The chat goes wild. This seems to be exactly the kind of thing they've been waiting for. Ah! An angel that fell down from heaven. Face. Oh my gosh, she did it again. Beautific. Hope your tortured soul finds some calm eventually. Your tortured soul. Can you imagine USA assembling a blood-sucking squad that would just cruise by the border and suck blood out of any illegal they found? The very thought gives me the biggest boner!
That was uncalled for. Goodbye.
You want me to kick the boner guy?
He's being racist.
Well, that's true. Do I kick him or ban him?
I don't know. Maybe just kick? Because he's not insulting her, but he is crossing
And kicked.
Just to be clear, you realize what we're doing here is a blatant breach of the masquerade, right? Because you're a little stupid. I know you are. I honestly expected you to leave or inform somebody by now, but you haven't, have you?
You try to focus on the chat. A familiar nickname is displayed on the screen.
He's back!
He is back. And he's
kicked
still
him and he came back.
spamming!
Oh my gosh, time for a ban. Look at him go! Dude!
Alright, get out of here.
Yeah.
Looks like Mr. How do you say that?
Masochist?
Masochist needs a longer break. After you ban him, you hear Hope's voice.
Good job handling that guy.
Great. If nothing else works out, seems like you fit this job at the very least.
In any case,
The last goal has just been funded.
it's time for the great finale. This is what you've all been waiting for, right?
Yes, Queen! Yes, Queen! Yes, Queen! Her voice has changed. She gets closer to the camera, letting her face fill the frame of the live feed. Her mesmerizing eyes are focused purely on the viewers.
You wanted blood? Come out into the streets! Claw at your neighbor's throats and slash their veins and drink up!
Yes, Queen. Yes, Queen. Yes, Queen. Hope's presence becomes absolutely horrifying, and it influences the chat in some incomprehensible way. Everyone starts typing like they're possessed.
Liberate yourselves from the shackles of ordinary mortality! Make them scream! Feel the warmth of their entrails!
Is she, like, actually gonna make them be violent?
Well, they're being weird. What the hell is she doing to those people? What have you gotten yourself into?
Transcend your bodies! Release the message of hope into the world!
She jerks violently for a second and then falls down on the bed like a marionette that just had its string severed. She exhales loudly a few times and laughs. When she does, the room goes dark again.
Alright, that's enough.
Instead of continuing, she does something with her phone. The stream ends and the chat instantly becomes dead quiet.
Let me take over.
The atmosphere in the room has completely changed. She's already put herself together and stood up. Now she's walking towards you. What the fuck just happened? I guess the show is over. Everyone relax and go home. Ah, and I was almost ready to come, bros.
Okay.
Hostage, I swear on my father's grave, one day I will find you and kick the ever-living shit out of you. After every line she delivers, she changes her voice, the way she puts her lips together, and even the way she moves. You've caught glimpses of her acting this way, but only now have you started to figure it out. Well, figure out what? I'm so confused.
I'm confused.
Was she saying that stuff?
Was it her? Was it all just a test? Was nobody watching?
I don't know. I'm just...
Oh, what the hell just happened?
I'm immortal. I'm bored. I'm separated from the best. This is her.
It is her. I'm immortal, I'm bored, I'm separated from most vampires in the city by a generational chasm, and I'm so damn lonely. The internet used to be my only friend. Years ago, I started researching tulpas, collective unconsciousness, all the mumbo-jumbo at the intersection of psychology and spirituality, and I decided to experiment.
The show was fake.
A few years later, I was an Instagram fashionista, a successful erotic model, a vital part of pop culture commentariat, a viral shit poster, a cryptocurrency expert. All of my internet selves started signal boosting each other, paving the way for new ones. I became a one-woman empire surrounded by legions of psycho fans.
The chat was fake.
Some might think of it as a dissociative identity disorder, but that's bullshit. Everyone has an online alter egos they buried. I just resurrected them, gave birth to new ones, and let them crossbreed.
Her constant tapping at the phone, even during the show, somehow she's capable of impersonating an entire chat room.
I don't even have a self that could disassociate or be mentally ill. I'm a host, a living database. I live because I find it fun to be an information conduit, to process trends and support the ones I deem worthy.
There was no masquerade violation. She was showing off her skills all along. She put you into a world of pure fiction, the same way she was testing you when she attacked you from the back. Damn, she's good at this.
That was her just like scaring you while you're typing, like, I'm a Kindred, report for duty. Of course, you can just ignore what I'm saying and decide that I'm just another deranged
Malkavian.
Malkavian. My brain just totally blipped. But hey, annihilation of the self is the only way to survive in the 21st century. If there ever was an era that demanded images of beautiful people transcending beyond humanity and inspiring others to do the same, it's this one. Although for now, because of the masquerade, my audience is quite limited. Speaking of, you want to be a star of my next movie? You need some time to mull it over? Sure. No, sorry to disappoint. But yeah, your test is over. Now the question is, do I want to work with you?
She puts away her phone for the first time since you've met her and gives you a good hard look.
Guess I can give it a shot, yeah. You're not that dumb. You're not that boring. But you're kind of cute.
He is dumb though.
Yeah. You know she's laughing when he's like, Kindred reporting for duty.
No.
Don't worry, no more modding jobs. Mods get attached, and that's always bad news.
She grabs your arm and starts leading you out of her room.
I've put you through enough shit. Next time, I'll let you in on a little job I'm doing. We'll hit the streets and you'll see why Sophie told you to contact me.
I don't understand how she's talking through this. Like, I don't understand because
I
he's not looking at the screen anymore. She's pulling him out of the room.
Well, when she was doing it before, when she was revealing herself, he said she was reading it as it was appearing on the screen. So, like, she's still typing and saying it aloud at the same time, like a weirdo.
Okay. She leads you through a labyrinth of gray corridors. It's a different route than the one you made your way through in.
I don't know why she's still typing, like you're not even reading it, but...
I don't know.
This city is so much more than what the elites consider real. Stick with me, and I'll guide you to places Camarilla elders couldn't reach in 100 years.
She leads you out of the building into the back alleys.
Even if someone else rules the streets, we will rule the information highways. This is the power of hope.
I think it also was implying that, like, each new username, she takes on a different voice and persona, but I'm not doing that.
Yeah, that would be hard.
I would.
She lets out a theatrical laugh and disappears. You don't even notice when she leaves you alone, but you assume everything went as well as it could. A new ally, the power of hope. I got a
Well, I made
trophy.
one friend. Okay. Do you get a trophy for making all the friends?
Yeah,
Like each one
remember
of
we
it?
messed up on the one.
We did.
As you walk off into the night, everything around you feels a little less tangible than it did a few hours ago. Well, we got the freak of nature.
She is a freak, man.
She's a bigger freak than the detective. Like,
The detective seems like almost a normal dude. Like,
yeah, he wasn't too bad. I mean, he was creepy at first, but
you gave him the creepy voice.
at least 2 or more centuries of unlife. I read these.
We didn't read them, I don't think. I think just Sophie told us about all this crap.
Yeah, I ain't gonna read all those too much.
No.
Not long after you wake up tonight, Gregory knocks on the door of your apartment. Hello, I came to pick you up. Miss Langley wants to see you.
What if I don't want to see her?
Any idea what she needs me for, Greggs?
I'm not in the position to ask. He smiles politely. The car's waiting, shall we? You wrestle with the same thoughts as a few nights ago. Maybe you should just leave, disappear, let Sophie find somebody else to employ. But then you remember the anarch thug being cut down by Quadir, and how close you were to the same fate not even a week ago.
He loves beer.
And it might still happen if you step out of line. You follow suit. As with your previous visit here, Sophie seems not entirely present when you enter. Her eyes are locked onto one of the paintings in the room. You're pretty sure it was here earlier, but she's behaving as if she's seeing it for the first time in her life, entirely entranced. Gregory clears his throat. Sophie turns to both of you, a bit of irritation in her countenance that soon gives way to a pleasant, warm smile.
You're here. Excellent. Thank you, Gregory.
Her driver leaves, and she turns her attention to you.
I hope you had a good few nights and made some new acquaintances. But I have to say, I'm happy to see you, Lloyd. Thank you for coming.
The change in mood of the room is so sudden and startling, it makes you consider the true power of vampiric charisma. Rationally, you know you're being manipulated, but you don't even care. Her eyes, her motions, her entire body language all feel 100% genuine and expressing legitimate interest in you and your well-being.
I have a request for you this night. I need you to find somebody for me and make a delivery.
She points to the statue at the side of the room. You notice a plain-looking flash drive lying on the edge where the inanimate archer's bow touches the pedestal. I don't see any archer's bow.
Oh, he's there on the right. Look, he's like super stretched and crouched.
Oh, I see.
The man you'll be looking for calls himself Kaiser. He has eyes and ears all over New York. It's rare for something to happen here without his knowledge. I'll need you to take this flash drive and bring it to him. In exchange, he will give you an address, which I need to know as soon as possible.
You're about to ask what's on the drive, but Sophie proves to be one step ahead of you.
Oh, don't worry about the contents. They're encrypted, a precaution for if the data falls into the wrong hands. But it won't, correct?
She gives you a smile that, just a handful of nights ago, would make you feel like melting.
Oh, and Lloyd, Kaiser is a Nosferatu, that twisted, deformed lineage of Kindred. He is old, and his age has made him even more paranoid than others of his clan tend to be. He holds many havens and changes them often. From what I've gathered, he or one of his servants should be found at the park in Coney Island tonight. You'll have to identify them somehow. I'm told Kaiser has spent many of his nights these past few years being driven around the city in a black limo. Maybe keep an eye out for it.
That smile again, but much shorter.
Anything more you can tell me about this Kaiser guy?
He's been here a long time, about as long as I have. He's got into a whole lot of trouble for exchanging information with both the Anarchs and the Camarilla in the past, but ultimately got off scot-free. Kaiser's web of information proved to be strong enough to shield him from the consequences of playing both sides. Some say that's the best proof of his abilities. In any case, be careful when talking to him. He's very particular about everyone's etiquette except his own. Good night and good luck.
She flashes one last smile at you and turns back to the painting, clearly done with the conversation. You pocket the flash drive and head out toward Coney Island. It takes you the better part of an hour to reach the lights and sounds of Coney Island Amusement Park from the city. The drive is almost pleasant this time of night. Thank God for Belt Parkway. There are plenty of people here tonight, but nobody who stands out as traveling purveyor of secrets. Then again, if they did stand out, it would be kind of pointless, right? Nothing to do but figure out the right approach.
Kaiser, everybody say Kaiser! Kaiser here!
Kaiser! Could eat a poor little bomb.
He ain't hungry. I don't need to eat nobody. There are plenty of nooks and crannies to investigate around here, but Kaiser frequents this area. There has to be some kind of clue to grab onto, right? You spend a good hour snooping around, eyes peeled for the black limo Sophie mentioned, or any sign of that Nosferatu, or any vampire has their haven around these parts. Zilch. Annoyed, you turn back toward the lights of the amusement park, only to find a man standing in your way, wearing an oversized jacket. He had the air of a junkie or a dealer about him. Who knows what he's got in those pockets? Ew. You want me to do him?
Yeah, I'm gonna give my throat a break.
Yeah. I'm trying to figure out what to do. You lost? Maybe.
Maybe I am, maybe I'm not. What's it to you, bucko?
Oh, what kind of answer is that, you spook, Fed? He looks at you intently, like he's trying to guess your real purpose here. Get out of here before I kick your ass.
You're asking for a tough guy. Chill. I'm just looking for a guy. Drives around in a black limo. Stops here sometimes. Ring any bells?
No idea what you're yapping about. He's a terrible liar, clearly full of shit. I'm gonna intimidate him.
Listen, man. I need you to contact your boss, and I need you to do it now. Quit wasting my time, and things will get a little unpleasant real soon. I'm threatening. This is my threatening voice.
He doesn't
shaking his little finger.
He doesn't take that well. He reaches into his pocket, produces a gun. You rush him. Bang! The bullet hits you in the arm and goes out the other side. It hurts, but what would be a debilitating wound for a mortal is just a nasty scratch for you. It takes a bit of brawling. The man's stronger than you'd expect, but using your powers, you're able to overcome him. With a few hits to the jaw, the man passes out from the pain. Searching him, you find a fancy phone that doesn't look like anything readily available in the market. The phone's locked, but a recent smudge on the screen gives you a rough idea of what the combination might be. You get it right on the second try. There's just one number in the phone book, unlabeled. You dial it and hear someone pick up. The voice is like a rusty pitchfork scraping against gravel.
Jackie, you're messing up my stuff this year. Better raise something big.
You're like, come to Coney Island or else.
I got your bum. Get here now. Hey, is this Kaiser I'm speaking to?
Silence, not even a sound. The call ends. You try calling again, but the number is blocked. Nothing to do but wait to see if he shows up. Not 15 minutes pass before a black limo stops near where you're waiting. One door opens an invitation. The inside of the limo used to be a luxury lounge, the kind with a stripper pole and a bar full of alcohol, but it currently has none of that. Instead, there are monitors and consoles. There are dozens of displays, each one showing something different. Surveillance camera footage, stock market quotes, television news, emails, tweets, silent movies, lo-fi footage of gory torture session.
That's the snuff films he's making.
You wonder if the limo's owner can focus on anything while surrounded by all this visual noise and then realize there's nobody there. Or is there? A man bleaks into existence on a leather-covered couch, attempting to maintain something that approximates a regal presence. You're 100% sure it's Kaiser. Surrounded by dimly lit computer screens, his features are even more ghastly than you imagined, all sharp angles of twisted bones, mangled flesh, and crooked teeth. He bears them in an awful parody of a smile. Suddenly, someone grabs you from behind, twists your arm, and pushes your head against the car's roof. The bum's back. God, boss, have him. Nosferatu chuckles.
Oh, congratulations, Dickweed. Could have done that before I gave away that fucking phone. Just let him go already.
But
You gonna make me repeat myself, you thick motherfucker.
he lets go. You take a look at him. The man is confused and clearly hurting. He flashes you an angry stare, but obeys his boss's order to the letter.
What? Are you waiting for a formal invitation? Get in the car. We have some talking to do.
The door closes behind you.
Well, I'm here and I'm pissed. Unless you have a death wish, I assume there's something you have for me. Do indulge me or start figuring out how to drink blood with your fangs up your shitter.
You reluctantly pull the flashlight from your pocket and slowly pass it to Kaiser. He plugs it into a USB port on the arm of his chair and displays the data on one of the screens that happen to be turned away from you. It takes him about a minute to access the data.
Oh, let me guess. This is from Langley. She said she'd have something like this. You're a new flunky.
You have to bite your tongue to keep from arguing with the word you chose. But you nod.
Who do you people think I am? I saw this footage a week ago.
He removes the flash drive and throws it back at you in disgust.
Tell Sophie the deal's off. She wants her address. She can give me something else.
Oh man, I don't think your little wimpy vampire powers are gonna work.
I really don't think so either.
You could try it.
He'll just laugh in my face!
Or he'll get mad at you.
I'm sorry this proved disappointing to you, Mr. Kaiser, sir. Can I do something to make it up to you? He seems genuinely impressed.
Well, that's what I like to hear. Yeah, in fact, I was just about to mention it. I have something in mind. We'll talk soon. You do that for me. That address, that's yours. Now, would you be... Now, would you be so kind to get the fuck out of my car?
Every now and then he's got a little bit of a Boston accent mixed in. He's a mix of a lot of things, that man.
It's funny too because for some reason I thought it's a chair, and I was like, when did you get in his seat?
You're pretty sure you're done here. You get out, close the door behind you, and the car immediately starts backing up. The opaque windows slide past you, and soon the limo is on its way. Kaiser's lackey is nowhere to be seen, so you make your way to your car and drive back, wondering what tomorrow brings. Oh, that man hurt my voice. Well, here we go into next. We've got
Either
the sorcerer, the bruja, or this thing.
she's
ferals.
the feral one. Yeah. Well, before we go, let's pause for just a minute.
Okay.
I'll be right back.
Okay.
Okay, I'm back.
Okay.
Oh. Well, I picked the last one, so you pick which one's next.
I don't know. I mean, I'm not gonna go back to Hope just yet since we just did hers.
Yeah, I feel like we should meet the other two and see if we can maybe get more friends than one. I don't want Hope to be our only friend. Okay.
You arrive at the address given to you by Sophie, a small bookstore smack dab in the middle of Broadway, of all places.
He's a bruja? That's what we are, so maybe we're going to find out what we are.
Maybe. What really catches you off guard, though, is the store's display. From what you've heard about the Tremere, they're famous for their lies to the occult and the mystical. The ties to the occult and the mystical. And yet now, looking at the oddball collection of items in the display window, it all feels borderline satirical. The books here cover everything from Ayurvedic practices and homeopathy to wellness and self-motivation. The vaguely amusing juxtapositions don't end there either. What the hell is a juxtaposition?
It's like placement compared to each other. The
I've never
amusement
heard that word
placements.
in my life. You notice a copy of Anton LaVey's Satanic Bible tucked behind a cheap, smiling Buddha.
Ew, I don't like that.
The scientific journal on hematology sits next to a tween-orientated pamphlet on the blood type personality theory. A number of religious and quasi-religious symbols, lockets, pins, and various emblazoned paraphernalia are haphazardly thrown across the display in between the tomes. Before you even open the door, you can smell the burning incense and hear the corny, Far East tinged music seeping through the crackling speaker mounted above the entrance. It's much more quaint than what you expected from what Sophie told you about the so-called warlocks. It doesn't look like they have much interest in impressing outsiders. Then again, if there's anything you've learned these past few nights, it's that appearances can be deceiving. At this time of night, the shop appears to be closed. Regardless, you ring the bell. You hear someone shuffling around inside. A brief moment later, the latch slides and the door is pushed open just a few inches. A tired-looking blonde in loose clothes appears in the crack. She seems confused, like you just woke her up. She lets out a yawn, scratching at her tattooed neck. Finally, she squints in your general direction. Her pierced lip curves into an awkward smile.
He doesn't even get a picture.
No.
Got anything on vampires?
I don't know. I don't know. Okay.
I'm looking for a guy named Agathon. Is he around?
The girl gives you a suspicious look over, but opens the door. She takes a few steps back, and you hear footsteps coming from behind a floral curtain that covers the back door. A bespectacled, smart-looking woman emerges and looks straight at you. This is a woman. I'll take the woman. You can have the man because I broke my voice on the. Oh, Kaiser! My throat hurts now. Come in and follow me. Just don't touch anything, please. You follow her through the store. Inside, as expected, the stuffy air smells of sandalwood, frankincense, and a dozen other aromas. The woman leads you behind the curtain and through the back door onto a rickety staircase. A flight of steps takes you up to the second story. You instantly notice the change in decor, as the tacky New Age bookstore gives way to something resembling a cross between a library and a workshop. The smell here is
creepy man on the left.
Strong, too. It looks like a statue of some sort. But much more layered. You're not sure what to make of it at first, but with each whiff, it becomes apparent. Blood. The aroma, though subtle at first, soon becomes overpowering. It takes you a moment to adapt and focus. I don't think you know who you're speaking with, so an introduction is in order. My name is Aisling Sturbridge, and I am a High Regent of the Chantry of the Five Boroughs. You are Lloyd, correct? I have to say, you're lucky the ward outside the building is only there for notifications tonight. Otherwise, it would have been quite unpleasant. To answer your question, Agathon is here. But he's hard at work, and I wouldn't want to disturb him. Am I to understand this is a social visit?
High Regent of the Chantry of the Five Boroughs? That's quite a mouthful.
It might sound fancy, but that's because there's a well-established tradition behind it. One you'd be wise not to ridicule. Some might take offense. Me, for one. What is that you're here for? Heard good things about the man. Well, we always gotta just throw Sophie's name out.
Yeah, because they respect her way more than they respect Lloyd.
Sophie suggested I should meet Agathon. She said he's quite knowledgeable.
Did she know? Aisling looks you up and down. Her countenance seems unchanged, but you can tell she's judging what you said. That's new. Suddenly, a man enters from the side room. He doesn't even look at you, lost in his own thoughts. Ooh, he's mystical.
He looks evil. Look at that face.
Well, he looks actually like the other guy that you were voicing, but with like longer hair.
The guy whose voice I couldn't do?
Yeah.
He's not gonna sound like him. I have it, Aisling. I think I know how to find it.
He catches himself as he notices you. His face turns sour.
A visitor?
A gross visitor.
Who's that man?
Yes, we were just discussing you, in fact.
Is that so?
I'm looking around. Let me introduce myself. My name is Lloyd. Just Lloyd. I've been told you might be interested in teaming up. Like Marvel team up.
Teaming up?
He seems very confused by the notion.
What for?
For the company.
He ain't assisting him in anything.
Well, I could use your knowledge. I'm new here, and a scholar like yourself could teach me a lot, I imagine.
You're not wrong.
He turns to Aisling.
Hi, Regent. May I ask your advice on this?
She looks you over as if judging your worth. It takes her just long enough to make you feel uncomfortable. Actually, my chill day. I would consider giving this one a chance to prove their worth.
What has he done to prove himself?
Nothing.
Oh?
She addresses you. I'm trying to understand why Langley took interest in you, Lloyd, and I might have caught a glimpse of her reasoning. I think you may be of aid to Agathon in his current task. Why don't you start by giving our intern here a brief explanation of what it is you're after? Agathon gives Aisling a hesitant look, but the woman nods approvingly. Encouraged, he turns towards you.
A member of our clan disappeared without a trace a handful of nights ago. While the High Regent investigates if any foul play was involved, I have been tasked with recovering her research notes. If there is anything left to recover, that is. I may have an idea where to start looking, and I suppose this is where you come in. If you truly wish to help, I could use your assistance tonight. Right now, in fact. Given the time we've just wasted on idle chatter, we should leave immediately. I should leave immediately, not you. You stay here.
What's the rush? Is someone else after the notes?
Possibly. A story for another time, perhaps.
These people aren't in the habit of making things simple. Facing layers upon layers of secrecy, you can only hope that what lies beneath is the real deal.
I'm heading out. Are you coming or not?
On second thought.
Sure, I'll join ya.
Very well.
He gives Aisling a slight bow. Is Aisling his sire? Because she called him Chill Day.
Oh, she did say my chill day, so I guess she is his sire. And he was looking to her like, what do you think I should do, you know?
True.
Hi, Regent, with your permission.
She nods. Before you go, however, Lloyd, defer to Agathon in all things. Our clan values obedience above everything else. Prove you can follow, and this might turn into a mutually beneficial relationship. I will await his return and his report. Good luck, my chile. Agathon bows again and heads out, urging you to follow. The High Regent watches you leave. Outside, Agathon leads you to his car. It's almost funny seeing him get behind the wheel. Somehow you'd expect a more mystical means of transportation. You drive south, heading to the Lower East Side. Agathon seems lost in thought. Either that, or he's a very careful driver. Either way, several minutes pass in silence. Why are we always in the back seat? They don't want to sit in the front seat with them.
So they can glare at us. This dude looks so mean, but his behavior so far has not been.
No.
So the High Regent is your sire, huh? Did I get that right?
Yes.
He seems to be thinking of the right words before he decides to address you again.
Let me ask you something. Why me? There's likely a couple hundred of us kindred in New York. Yet you seek me out specifically. Why?
I don't know, just give it a shot.
That's not flattering.
For one, Sophie spoke highly of you. She gave me a short list of people to meet. You were on it.
I see.
Once more, he grows silent. You're unsure whether to continue prying as your driver seems to disappear into his thoughts. You drive into Williamsburg and stop by a fancy-looking building.
We're here. There's a restaurant on the top floor. You wanted to help, so here's your chance. I need you to get us inside the VIP lobby. Once we're in, I need about half an hour to focus and some space. It'll be up to you to keep attention away from the room. Can you do it?
He doesn't wait for an answer and points to the front door.
Go ahead. I'm right behind you.
The two of you take the elevator up to the restaurant. The door opens and you see that there are only a few guests left, sitting at their tables. An important-looking staff member approaches you. Good evening. I'm very sorry, but the restaurant is closing for the night. I can make a reservation for next week if you wish. What should we say?
I'm the special kind of clown.
Let's just do this one.
Hey, we're not your regular customers. In fact, we're location scouting for a movie. We'll just take a quick look around and we're gone.
No, I'm sorry. We're not interested in being featured in a movie. I will have to ask you to look elsewhere. I would suggest Smith & Wollensky or the 21 Club.
Come on, man. Give us a break.
This is an outrage.
Hey, it's all good. We can come in. We'll be in the VIP lobby. It won't take long.
The man blinks. A confused smile appears on his face. Yes, of course, not a problem. Please, come right in. You walk in, trying to look casual, and make your way towards the VIP lobby. You step inside and close the door behind you. It's a nice place, very highbrow. Lots of old, expensive-looking furniture and private rooms to discuss any sort of business one discusses when you're that rich. Your companion looks at you with something akin to an admiration, or at least that's how you chose to interpret the slight change in his usual somber facade.
Not bad. Not bad at all.
He inspects the room. It's unusually cold, and Agathon soon discovers why. Looking behind the curtain, a window hangs open. The handle and lock look like they've been dissolved, as if with acid.
Damn it, Juno.
Who's Juno?
How about I tell you some other time?
He takes a frantic look around the room.
This changes things. Keep an eye on the door. I need some time. Half an hour at the very least. Nobody disturbs me, understand?
He hastily pushes a couch and some potted plants out of the way, moves a bar stool, and takes out a curved knife. Cutting into his own arm, he lets some of his blood drip onto the wooden floor. It's pretty fucked up, the way his flesh oozes the deep red. Thick vitae. In life, you'd have found it stomach churning, but right now you feel weirdly turned on by the sight.
Ugh.
What follows is more disturbing yet. With one hand, he sheaths the knife and seals the wound. With the other hand, he smears the blood around him while muttering some weird chant. It sounds vaguely Latin, but you're pretty sure it isn't. It's all more than a little disconcerting, but he seems to know what he's doing. A few moments later, the circle starts glowing faintly as a thin wisp of smoke surround Agathon. He sits down in the middle, legs crossed, eyes closed. Minutes pass. Agathon's face twitches from time to time, and his head turns every now and then as if he is looking around or listening in a conversation. The smoke grows thicker, forming a veil around the mage. You'd expected something more flashy, but it's still a sight to behold. You wonder what the point of it is, but you refrain from asking. It's probably best to let Agathon do his thing. For close to 30 minutes, you're left to your own devices. Then suddenly the door opens slightly and the manager leans into the room. You tense up for a second, but he just gives you an awkward smile. Anything you need? You shoo him away before he can take a closer look at your companion, and he retreats obediently. 2 minutes later, Agathon casually gets up off the floor and walks over to the sofa. He pushes his hand in between the cracks in the upholstery and fishes something out. He then turns to you and nods.
We're done here. Let's go.
You make your way back to the elevator, passing the manager on your way. He gives you a slight, somewhat confused smile, but neither him nor any of his staff get in your way. Despite that, the elevator ride down feels tense, and the two of you only relax once inside Agathon's car. He starts the engine and takes a ride at the Continental Army Plaza, back onto the bridge. Why are we still in the elevator? You're just about to say something, but he beat you to it.
That went better than I expected, all things considered.
It might have been a trick of the light, but you're pretty sure you just saw a smile.
I'm used to working alone, but what I'm dealing with right now, it might require some more assistance, and you seem capable enough.
Oh, thanks, I guess. You know, I could do more than watch your back while you're channeling Madame Blavatsky.
Can you now? I guess we'll find out next time.
That seems to deplete his social battery for the night. You drive the rest of the way in silence. It doesn't take you long to reach the warlock's hideout. Agathon waves at you absent-mindedly, once again lost in his thoughts, hopelessly so. One of these nights, you should probably take him up on his offer. Who knows? If you gain his trust, maybe you can actually break through his stoic facade and meet the man underneath. Well, we got that trophy. I just screwed up with ringing the doorbell. I could have had them all.
It feels like they're really lenient. Like, I think if you hadn't ring the doorbell, the detective would have been fine.
I could have, but I was stupid.
You just weren't paying attention.
You're walking down the street towards your haven. In some other town, the sidewalks would be deserted this time of the night. In NYC, there are plenty of passerbys going about their business. It's easy to be paranoid when you're a vampire surrounded by a crowd of humans. The Kindred have many enemies, and all those enemies have one trait in common. They're invisible, indistinguishable from normal humanity. Other vampires, hunters, all look like people. Is that old man just a tired restaurant worker, or a Kindred thrall just tailing your movements? Are the officers idly waiting in a patrol car ordinary cops, or Second Inquisition specialists looking to end undead threats? This kind of thinking leads to madness, but you can't shake the feeling that someone is watching you. It's not the first time you felt like this. Whatever this is, it's probably something you have to take care of. Best case, someone is tailing you. Worst case, you'll be attacked and killed. Unfortunately, being undead has its limitations. The sun is coming up soon, and you'll burn into a crisp if you stay on the streets. You reach your haven and settle in for the day, disconcerted by the idea that someone might know where you sleep. Okay. I just went to bed. I didn't even hit the button.
It just pulled you in.
As you wake from your slumber and emerge from your haven for the night, you notice a familiar face on the other side of the street, standing on the corner and looking straight at you. It's Kaiser's lackey from whom you met recently, Jackie. We never even learned that guy's name. Oh, he did say Jackie, though. I think the guy said
He did on the phone. Yeah.
He nods to you, encouraging you to approach. He still looks kind of rough after your last brawl, but the damage to his face is clearly mended. His hands are out of his pockets, though, a sign of goodwill.
That's close enough.
So, sir, what the hell do you want?
Oh, let me guess. This is not a social visit. Kaiser sent you.
Don't say his name out loud, idiot. He took a look around just to make sure nobody's listening in on your conversation.
What?
That's not supposed to be him. That's not dialogue.
Okay, there's another typo.
And there's been a lot of typos in this game.
That's the worst one there, though.
That's totally supposed to be italics.
Yeah, I was like, is he talking in third person? Like,
Like, is he talking about Kaiser? Like, is Kaiser here?
yeah, he sent me. I'm supposed to give you this. He produces a crumpled piece of paper from his jacket pocket and hands it to you. Read it, memorize it, then give it back here. It's a letter. The paper might just be a page ripped out of a spiral notebook, but the writing on it is exquisitely detailed and deliberate. It reads, "Time to square your debt with me. Go to the wine shop at 232 Millbury Street and ask for 1821 Special Reverse Donatello Negro Amaro.
1821.
When they tell you don't have it, say you're a Fidelis Servitori della Famiglia G." These exact fucking words. And make sure you get the G right.
Are we supposed to remember that? Because,
We can try. You'll get a bottle, just take it and leave it by saying grazie. Don't ask how much it is or anything else, just walk out. When you have it, come back to the Jackie boy here and let him know. You done? Memorize that shit and hand it over.
I don't see what the rush is, bud.
Hey, it's your funeral. I could stand here all night and even enjoy a nice sunrise while I'm at it. Not a luxury you have. Just hand me back the letter once you're done. You note the phrases and address mentioned in the letter, then hand it back to Jackie. He immediately reaches for a lighter and burns the letter, putting out the ashes with his boot. So yeah, when you do what the boss asks, come back here so I can tell you where to go next. I'll be in that alley over there, so find me when you have the item, whatever it is. I don't know. And the boss made it extra clear that I shouldn't care, so I don't. See ya. He shuffles away and leaves you to pursue the lead from the letter. Time to pay a visit to Nolita?
that wasn't even what it said in the letter.
It wasn't. I don't remember Nolita at all.
I don't either.
You arrive at the address mentioned in the note, not counting local restaurant patrons. The street is mostly empty at this time of night, but curiously, the wine shop is still open. Inside, a small middle-aged woman with curly hair stands behind the counter in front of a wall filled with wine bottles. There's a door at the back of the room with a small table and chair, occupied by a man in black faux leather jacket with slick combed back hair. He's reading a newspaper but pauses as a little bell rings when you open the door. He takes a sip from a small steaming cup, then gets back into his broadsheet.
Good evening. How can I help you?
Chatter up.
I would like a bottle of the 1821 Special Reserve Donatello Negro, please.
Let me check our stock.
She seems to be looking through a database on a laptop sitting on the counter. She puts on a polite smile.
I'm afraid we don't have that one at the moment. Sorry.
How should we make
What's straight and simple, casual, or reassuring? It was like wink wink. I guess straight and simple? I don't know.
I am a Fidelis Salvatore di la G.
Ah. In that case, let me see if we have any in the back. Wait here, please.
The woman leaves the counter and goes through the doors in the back. The man by the table puts down his newspaper and takes another sip from the cup, washing it down with a gulp of water from a nearby glass. He tries to hide it, but there's no doubt he's watching you. About a minute passes.
Chat him
Hey,
up.
Why are you watching me, guy? Mind if I borrow your newspaper?
The man takes out a pen and ostentatiously begins solving a Sudoku puzzle, his eyes darting to you ever so often. He's like, I'm just ignoring him. I don't see him. I don't see him. He just asks for his newspaper, and the guy's just like, nope, I'm doing a puzzle. I'm doing a puzzle.
I'm using it. Can't you see me using it?
The doors to the back of the store open, and the proprietor emerges with a... Yeah, it was coming out. Emerges with a small, unlabeled bottle of crimson liquid. She gives you an apologetic smile.
Excuse me, sorry for taking so long. Turns out we did have it.
She's Italian.
She's Italian, but I don't know the Italian accent.
She offers you the bottle, and you reach out to grab it, but she retracts it.
You do know what this is, don't you?
That's why, of course.
I'm stupid.
You focus your blood and immediately see both the people in the shop focus
You're getting
intently
hungry.
in on you and what you're about to say.
I know exactly what this is, and I'm the right person to give it to.
The woman gives you the bottle of wine without hesitation.
Grazie.
Deciding you pushed your luck far enough, you nod and exit the store, then take a brisk walk to your car. Nobody follows you as you leave Nolita and drive back to your apartment. It takes you some time to find a parking spot, but you finally get out of the car and start looking for Jackie. He's not far from where you parted ways just under 2 hours ago.
Got the goods?
Sure do, bud. I sure do.
Cool. Stand by. Gotta make the call.
He takes a few more steps into a narrow space between the two buildings and takes out the same high-tech phone you saw him carrying last time.
Hey, boss. Yep, they have it. Where do I point them to? Okay, yeah. I'll tell them to go there right away.
He's a them because they couldn't put he or she because they were girls, so they just went the lazy way.
They didn't know which one you might be.
He puts the phone back in his pocket and turns to you.
Willard's Point. Half an hour, so you better step on it. See ya around.
With only a flippant salute, Jackie starts walking down the street. You make your way to the back to the car and drive. You had to push the speed limit to make it on time, but you're here. Willard's Point is quite a change of scenery. The place is a post-industrial dump, the nearby stadium notwithstanding. You stop your car once you realize that if you go any further down, the potholes will kill your chassis. You step out into one of those gashes in the asphalt, splashing in ankle-deep water. Ugh.
Yuck.
Kaiser's limo is nowhere to be seen. In fact, the whole place is pretty much deserted other than the apparent proprietor of a lonely bar, a middle-aged woman who's just locking the place up.
You're gonna eat her. You're gonna eat her.
Why is it red? Why is that red? I don't have enough power to use that.
I can't remember what the
Well,
red meant.
I guess we'll eat her. This is too perfect an opportunity to not take advantage of.
What if Kaiser needs her?
Well, we're eating her now! She's walking to her car, ready to call it a night when you sneak up on her. She's far too tired to resist your stronghold and swift bite. You can taste the caffeine in her veins, smell the cheap cigarettes in her hair, the old cooking grease in her clothes. She passes out, your assault the closing note of a long day at work. You let her down gently and feel a pang of remorse. You pick up the car key she dropped and place her in the driver's seat. She'll find an explanation for passing out like this for sure. The bright lights of the car pulling over down the road illuminate you as you close the door. It's a black limo. Kaiser is finally here, it would seem. Same as last time, the car doors open, but nobody comes out. You know the drill. This time, Kaiser is visible when you look inside. He sat down and closed the door behind you.
So you pulled it off without a hitch then? Give it here.
You hand the bottle over to the Nosferatu. He uncorks it gently, takes a whiff, and puts the cork back in.
Yeah, that's the stuff. Good job, kid. Can see your dip fade. Oh yeah, and also take this. It's what Langley wanted.
He passes you an envelope with what feels like a thick card inside. Thank you, Mr. Kaiser. Sir, thank you, with honors.
I think he's telling me about this.
Hey, messing with the guy. He's creepy.
Thank you, Mr. Kaiser. Sir, with honors.
Yeah. I said, Jackie, over if you ever need anything else, you know. How about that? Time for you to get out now.
He waves you out the car. With the envelope in your hand, you get out, back onto the torn asphalt and the decrepit surroundings. The limo slowly drives away. Finally, you can return to Sophie and bring her what she wanted. Gregory lets you in. You hear a shrill, unpleasant laugh, and you realize Sophie's having a guest over. Oh no! Not Thomas! Not Thomas! Anyone but Thomas!
You just hear him and you turn around and leave.
Thomas Arturo, you met in Elysium a few nights back. That shriek is unmistakable. Thomas is shrieking?
Yes, he is.
Why is Thomas shrieking?
Ah, Lloyd, so good to see you. Tell me, did you two have a chance to talk previously?
Thomas speaks up before you can.
What kind of voice did you end up going with?
No, we didn't have one! He didn't have one! He was everywhere.
Why, yes, of course. It's such a good impression you made, too. Miss Langley clearly did the right thing by taking you under her wing. I'm sure she thinks so, too, don't you, Sophie?
Well, of course,
Of course you do, of course. Well, I believe I must be going. I'll be sure to let Prince Panor know your thoughts, Miss Langley, word for word, or close as I can remember them.
I appreciate it, Thomas.
You two enjoy your night now. Good night, Sophie. Lloyd, Greggy boy.
He gives you a sly smile. Sophie's driver opens the door for Arturo, and the guest steps out with a single wave of his hand towards his host and you. The door closes.
What a creep.
That guy's a creep, Sophie. Why you hang out with that weirdo?
Oh, you're killing me. I wouldn't be so harsh, fledgling, but it does take some getting used to, certainly. Thomas has clout in court and access to many juicy details on everyone from the prince to the lowliest primogen. It's useful to have him on your side, even if his eccentricity requires some patience. Speaking of patience, you have been putting mine to the test lately. Did you manage to contact Kaiser and acquire what I asked for?
I appreciate my gratitude, bitch.
Yes, I have it. But the daddy you offered was old news to him. I had to do another job for him before he would give me this card.
She retrieves the envelope from you.
I'm sure he did. I do hope it wasn't too much of an inconvenience.
Worst thing about this entire operation, Kaiser's just a big old huge prick.
She chuckles.
Oh, Lloyd, why do you think I wanted you to deal with him? I appreciate your sacrifice, I really do.
She opens the envelope and looks at the card. You notice the same lettering you saw in Kaiser's note from before, but can't see the details. Her eyes widen.
Yes, excellent. I need to call in some favors. I will likely be busy for the next few nights. You have my permission to show some initiative, my dear Charge. I will contact you soon.
With that, Sophie ushers you outside. Shoo shoo. And you're left to do with the rest of this night's hours as you like. Okay.
Why is it so dark? Look at his face. He's in the dark.
I don't know. Is that Agathon?
No, that's the Benoit.
Oh, well, because he's a creep. That's Agathon.
Yeah, that's Agathon.
Well, we want to try to get the last girl as a friend.
Yeah, because we made 2 friends. Let's see if we can make a 3rd.
You make your way through the Grand Army Plaza, passing the Soldiers and Sailors Memorial Arc. You can't help but feel a tinge of nostalgia as you picture the place you've seen it countless times, in broad daylight, teeming with life. You quickly get over it and pass through the northwest gate into Prospect Park. The park is its usual maze of unkempt foliage and dimly lit alleys. Silence hangs in the air, as it would at this time of night, and there doesn't appear to be any sign of Kindred presence. You start to suspect Langley's sources fed her a bunch of bullshit, but you're not willing to give up just yet. As you ponder your options, you hear footsteps coming from behind a line of trees, quick but evenly paced, most likely a late-night jogger. No vampire would take kindly to feeding in their domain, but then again, perhaps you could kill 2 birds with 1 stone.
You just ate.
Yeah, we'd just be eating for no reason at this point. Where's the Gangrel Haven? What's this mean?
Well, that's where we're looking for the gangrels. The girl we're looking for.
Well, I mean, what's the difference in walking around or seeking it out?
I don't know, because I zoned out for a second, and I don't know what he was saying.
I don't see if there's a difference. I don't know. You head south, delving deeper into the less frequented section of the park. Passing a babbling stream, you make your way into the ravine. Home to some of the oldest trees in the park, it's the place to go when you want to get away from a crowd and enjoy some one-on-one time with nature. And that's during the day. At night, it's bound to be a gangrel's delight. Making your way through the brush, you come across a rocky crevice hidden behind a wobbly chain-link fence. You leap over the fence in a single bound, trying to land as quietly as kindredly possible. The crevice looks deep enough for you to think twice about jumping in. Instead, you peer into the darkness below, listening intently. In a split second, the air above the side of your head swirls like a vortex. Driven by sheer instinct, you lean back just as 5-finger shaped razors cut through the darkness, missing your face by an inch. A clawed shadow jumps back a few paces, preparing to correct its mistake. You catch a glimpse of the assailant. Looks pretty animalistic, alright, but he's not the one you're looking for. For starters, it's a he. Just as he's about to lunge at you, a snarl sounds from the bushes nearby, stopping your foe in their attacks. Out of the shadows emerges a young woman baring her teeth ever so slightly. She walks over, calmly, her eyes fixed on your assailant. Her presence is enough to make him reconsider attacking you, but not to withdraw completely. He glances over to her, puffing up his chest. I'll take him.
Okay.
Stay out of it, Tim. I smelled him first.
Yeah.
You talk like Hulk.
Well, he's trying to claw me. I mean, I don't know.
He's like Sabretooth.
Tam, how about that? She raises an eyebrow but remains silent. Her compatriot turns back towards you.
You shouldn't have come here, pretty boy. I'm gonna fuck you up so bad, you'll be wearing your tongue as a fucking necktie.
Tamika looks at you expectantly.
Let's see you bite.
Alright, boy. Let's see if your bite is as bad as your bark.
Clearly taken aback, he looks over to Tamika as if gauging her reaction.
Guess I know who the alpha is around here.
A barely visible smile creeps up on Tamika's lips. The man's eyes narrow. Although you can't really see it, you could bet the hair on the back of his neck just stood up.
Shut your fucking mouth, pretty boy. You should have run when you had that chance.
A fierce growl echoes across the alley, stopping the savage in his tracks. Tamika walks over to her comrade, her fangs glistening in the dim lamplight. She puts her hand on the side of his head, caressing his hair and tugging at his ear as if she was scolding a puppy. She leans over and speaks in a voice that's firm yet oddly affectionate. Well, look at her.
She looks wild. It's okay, Raoul. I'll handle it from here.
The male gangrel looks at her with a mix of timidity and resentment. Then he turns back towards you.
You wouldn't waste time on this asshole, Tam. Be my guest.
Having said his piece, Raoul retreats into the shadows, although as if you were to guess, he's likely to stay within earshot. With her companion gone, Tamika turns to you once more.
What do you want?
You better put a leash on him.
Straight to the point, huh? I like that.
I don't care what you like. Now quit stalling. You have something to say? Say it.
I want us to be friends. I come with an offer. I'm willing to offer you my services, such as they are. All I would hope for in return is a fruitful, long-lasting relationship.
That's so weird to say.
That is so weird.
So, you want to help me with something because you want to be my friend? Is that about right?
Well, it sounded better the way I said it. But yeah, that's the gist of it.
Uh-huh.
She puts on a veneer of skepticism, but you can tell she's intrigued.
That's very earnest of you. It's also kind of silly, but I think I'm okay with it. What I'm not okay with is putting my ass on the line and getting stabbed in the back for my trouble. So, why exactly should I trust anything you say?
Jezebel.
That's her sire, I think. But I
Yeah.
don't remember what the backstory is.
Her expression sours in an instant. Oh, I didn't say anything.
For a moment there, you almost had me fooled. I should have known better.
Tamika looks to the side as if you hurt her feelings. From what you've seen so far, it's an oddly emotive reaction from her. Like, what? The game didn't even make him say anything.
I know. I don't...
I think maybe he was supposed to, I guess. I don't know. Quick to realize it, she straightens up and turns her piercing gaze towards you.
We have nothing more to talk about.
Because I said I could make it worth your while?
I don't know what happened.
Oh, look, clearly we started off on the wrong foot.
Yes, you did. Now leave. I will only ask once.
And with that, you take your leave. You know better than to argue with a scorned gangrel. Still, you can't help but feel a tinge of regret. This could have been the beginning of a beautiful friendship.
What went wrong?
All I did was said I could make it worth your while, and then, like, he didn't even actually speak it out, and she's like, get out of here. Like, that's it. I guess I
don't
wasn't
know.
supposed
Like
to say that. Like, I don't
she
know.
seemed like she was liking you up to that point.
I know, all I said was that, and then she's like, that's it.
Okay, I guess we only have 2 friends.
Guess so, because don't tell a gangrel you can make it worth their while, I guess.
It's just... Oh, we got new people.
Whoa.
Or wait, is that Benoit? Then who's the dark face?
This isn't Benoit.
No, up there's a new one.
That's Arturo.
No, I know, that's Benoit. So then who's the dark? I thought the dark one was Benoit. But he's not.
Oh, this is
Yeah,
somebody that's been watching us.
Yeah, that's somebody different.
I don't know who this guy is. It's a fat guy.
A nosy reporter.
Maybe we did see that fat guy last stream. He almost sounds familiar.
I don't remember him. Because he's a reporter from a gossip.
Well, who do we go to next?
Somebody new,
You want to go to this and see what this guy is watching us?
Yeah, the guy who's tailing us.
Someone's following you around. Has been for a few nights, maybe longer. That can't be a good thing. The only question is what to do about it. Alright, well, do we confront him or run to Sophie?
Sophie's always following me.
This will provoke him. You venture out to the street with the goal of letting your stalker know you're aware of being followed. It's time to stop this ridiculous charade. It's raining outside, and as you step onto the street in front of your haven, you wonder whether that'll help you. Will you be able to see the footprints of your stalker in puddles on the ground? Not sure where to start, you slip a few bills into a homeless man and chat with the guy who runs the local bodega. Both of them talk your ear off about strange characters hanging around, but none of their stories seem right to you. Walking the streets, you're convinced by turns that everyone you see is an enemy agent out to get you, and that your stalker has decided to take the night off. Frustrated after a couple of hours of useless searching, you cross the road without looking where you're going. A courier on a motorbike zooms towards you and has no time to brake or swerve as you suddenly step in front of him. For a split second, your eyes meet those of the man on the bike, and you both know you'll collide. You'll get hurt. Something hits you, pushing you forward. You tumble, flying to the sidewalk as the courier zooms past. You feel a weight on your back, catch a glimpse of something, a person, female you think, and then she disappears. What is this, his ex-girlfriend or something? You could spend a couple more hours trying to find the woman who's been stalking you, but in your shriveled undead heart, you know it to be futile. She's gone. Well,
okay.
I didn't get anything there.
No.
So, who's next?
Well, do you want to revisit someone or talk to the new guy? I'm thinking the new guy.
And talk to Fatty?
Yeah, he's been sniffing around Sophie's haven.
The streetlights filter in the apartment in stark white glow as if someone were shooting a movie outside. The art pieces display a tasteful expense entirely fitting the image you have of Sophie. It feels as if 1,000 sins have been committed on this premises, most of them under her benevolent hospitality. Sophie comes to greet you as you enter the living room, shaking her head.
You understand that people judge me based on how you dress, don't you?
Sophie looks at your clothes as if resigned to your sartorial limitations.
That word. Sartorial.
I've got other things to worry about than shopping for clothes, you know.
Press the button. Sophie walks to the window and looks out, the streetlights playing on her features. She reminds you of a queen contemplating the unfortunate limitations of her subjects.
You'd think that as a vampire, at least we wouldn't have to worry about the vultures or the press. Unfortunately, when you have the power and ability, there are always parasites trying to feed on you.
I used to have journals for it.
That's so random. Nobody cares, Lloyd.
Is there a reporter after you? Is that what you're saying?
Yes, a terribly persistent creature.
Sophie steps away from the window and settles down on a sofa. A wine glass with red liquid in it. Blood treated as not to spoil. You become good at noticing the scent, even from a distance. She doesn't offer you any as you cautiously sit down across from her.
This awful man has been stalking my apartment with a camera. He's gone through my trash, talked to the neighbors. Please be a dear and explain to him that there's nothing for him here.
I'm not your errand boy.
Yes, you are, boy.
Is this about the masquerade? That's a big deal for us, right?
Indeed, you're learning.
Isn't this dangerous?
Isn't this unavoidable when we fake mortal lives?
Do you really think you can tell me how to live?
Do you know anything about this reporter? Man, woman, young, old, anything like that?
All gossip reporters look the same to me. I'm completely unhelpful, you know. Time for you to go. I have business to attend to.
You leave the apartment as Sophie disappears into another room. You don't have a clear idea of the game she plays with the city's moral and immortal power structures, but she always seems to be making a move.
It seems like she cares about you less and less as it goes on.
She does. Outside on the street, there's a slight warm drizzle, the kind that gets under your clothes and makes you want to take a shower when you get back to your own haven. No reporters immediately jump out to you. For a while, it feels like nothing is happening in the New York night. People are walking past you on their way to whatever nightlife diversions help them forget their sordid lives. As you contemplate going back inside and telling Sophie you're not looking for a new career as a lookout, you suddenly notice the lens of a camera pointing at you across the street.
Hey!
You yell and run across the street. It's a man you're sure you've seen before, rotund, pasty, someone who spent too much time in a badly ventilated room stained with cigarette smoke. You enter an alley, a dark, dingy space between the tall buildings. Once upon a time, a place like this might have worried you, made you think of muggings and violence. Now it's clear that the most dangerous thing here is you. The man you're following seems to realize this too. He holds his camera in front of him like a shield. It's a heavy objective resting on his paunch. With a start, you recognize him. You remember the face. The shaded sunglasses from a picture next to a byline in some trashy paper you're reading to kill time. Something about celebrities, scandals, sex. His name is Frank Doherty? Frank Doe. You saw him on the street one time with a camera outside of a nightclub. Probably waiting for someone important to come out so he could take their picture. You can have Frank.
Hey, don't go around scaring people like that.
I'm a huge fan!
Welcome to Nickelback!
Oh my god. Oh my gosh. I'm just gonna punch the dough man right first thing!
Oh, Lord, it's gonna kill me.
You're Frank Doe! I recognize you from that thing. You're a fake reporter, right?
I'm a real reporter, damn it.
What are you reporting on then?
I'm not sure you can help me. Well, perhaps you can. Do you live here? I'm working on a story about a local resident. Her name is Sophie Langley. Everybody knows her in high society circles.
She's a redhead, pretty as a picture, and there were a lot of pictures of her through the years. That's the thing, in fact. Look at this.
Frank pulls out his phone and starts showing you pictures. Some have been downloaded from news sites, while others are photos from the society pages of newspapers from past decades. All show Sophie. She has different clothes, hairstyles, makeup, names, but the face remains the same. That's strange. So, what do you think is going on?
Beats me. That's what I'm here to find out.
You must have a theory about what's happening.
I have a theory or two, but before I print my theory, I need facts to back it up. 3 words. Extreme plastic surgery. All the celebrities do it. Only her doctor is better than the rest.
You look too critically at the photos on Frank's phone.
You wouldn't say no doctor's that good. You want him to think it's a plastic surgery.
I know.
Sure, I guess. If you find who the surgeon is, let me know. I could have some work done.
You're right. It makes no sense. Damn. So, how would you explain it? Crap. We put him on the wrong trail. It's a hoax.
Have you considered the possibility that those pictures are a hoax?
Sure, anything can be a hoax, but I dug up those old papers from the archives myself. I gotta have something usable.
What? We're just going to threaten him right away.
Like, he doesn't even know we know Sophie. Like,
No.
This is so out of the blue.
Oh my gosh.
Like, this is gonna make him think there's something there.
I know.
And he's not wrong.
Frank, I'm trying to help you. I'm trying to give you something you can work with. Take it.
What?
What?
What? Frank is clearly taken aback by the change in your tone, but he's a gossip reporter. He's used to people trying to push him. What?
Was that like the wrong bit of dialogue? I'm confused.
I don't know.
Look, I'm a reporter. You can bluster, but you can't hide the truth.
I don't know what the hell we're doing, man.
I don't know, man.
I'll tell you one more thing about Sophie. She's good at suing people. Do you think you can afford a lawsuit?
This job is all I have. Don't do this to me.
This
Come on, boy.
conversation is so weird.
It's not flowing, like...
It's not at all.
We could destroy you.
We can destroy your life, Frank! What's left of it, if you know what I mean, because I sure as hell don't.
Frank is taken aback by the brutality of your tone. He has been intimidated many times before, but he also knows that sometimes the threats are real.
He was like buddying up to you, man. You guys were just 2 dudes talking, and
And
then
then it
all of a
was like
sudden you're
threatening to intimidate him. Like there was no like.
That's a weird progression.
This time he senses you're not kidding. He's just an aging man trying to salvage a career.
You win. I hope you and Sophie Langley have a
This
happy
whole
life.
conversation makes no sense. It's like it makes
so
no
weird.
sense. It's very badly written. Like it makes no sense.
No, the flow of that was terrible.
I thought we were just gonna trick him into thinking Sophie was a normal human, and then it's like threaten or intimidate him for no reason. And then when he threatens him, it doesn't even make sense what he says.
What he said sounded like it was a different bit of dialogue, like it was the wrong dialogue. is what
It
seemed like.
did! Deflated and hunched over, Frank drudges away from the alley. He stared at his receding figure. It's hard not to feel sorry for him, and Sophie Langley He took on someone way too powerful for a small fish like himself.
You just ruined his whole night. He
Well,
thought you were a friend.
I
He was like,
wasn't
look at these pictures,
trying
man.
to. I didn't. It just went weird. It just went weird. I don't know. Qadir al-Asmai, the sheriff of New York City, is knocking at the door to your haven. How do we know it's Qadir? He announced his presence.
Yes.
The sight comes as more than a little shocking. If he had business with you, you either expect to see him already inside or never see him come in at all. Yet, there he is, on the other side of the peephole, patiently and politely waiting for you to let him in. You carefully unlock the door and face him in silence.
Evening. May I come in?
You simply stare at him. Your lack of an answer doesn't faze him, and your lack of resistance as he starts walking inside has obviously been interpreted as a permission. Once inside, he starts looking around as you cautiously stay by the door.
Haven't really had time to make this place your own yet, have you? It feels like Langley's apartment through and through. A secluded study where nobody studies anything. Look at the books on the shelf, obviously meant to impress guests, not to be read. They reveal nothing about their owner, aside from the aching desire to be taken seriously as an intellectual.
He picks one of them up and smirks before putting it away.
He's just trash talking Sophie. Like, look
He's
at her, she's so
mean.
fake.
Why you so mean, man?
The phenomenology of spirit next to all of this garbage poetry. We can make a bet. If she's read more than 20 pages, I owe you $50 and a gallon of blood. The kind of place that self-professed hermits entomb themselves in to suffer. Considering how much you have to run around these nights, you probably only use it as a shelter from the sun and rest, right?
Even though he's obviously making an effort to come off as non-threatening, it's impossible to forget the first impression he made. I mean, I think he's being very threatening. He's being mean.
He's being mean. He's like, Sophie's so fake, man. You don't even use his apartment.
He is! Like, you still see him as a fierce predator, trying hard not to expose his true colors. You sense a familiar fight-or-flight response as you struggle to find a diplomatic answer to his last question. If Qadir is bothered by your silence, he doesn't let it show. He keeps walking around, toying with whatever catches his eye. Eventually, he speaks up again. I'm just staring at him. I'm not saying anything. I'm just watching him.
He's just like poking everything on your shelves. Watch any baseball lately? If I had to guess, you strike me as a Red Sox fan.
Now, he's inviting you to talk in a more direct manner. You attempt to overcome your physical reaction to him and reply as casually as you can. Your mind keeps going back to that night when everything was changed forever. Waking up in hell with a body next to you, spending a night in that underground sweatbox, unsure of what will happen next, the endless car ride, 3 strikes, a bloodthirsty crowd, that blade. A rebirth, a baptism by fire, a frightening executor who made sure the flames scarred your spirit. I just want to never say anything to him. As you look into his face, you realize he's read the emotions from yours.
Not in the mood to exchange pleasantries.
Just said you're staring at him. There's no animosity in his voice. He's just stating a fact.
Let me get this straight to the point then.
He momentarily stops caring about his surroundings, turning all of his attention to you, and demanding the entirety of your attention in return.
You see, there's something I've realized over the years. In large part, I may have been hired just to look menacing with a sword, but my job is all about seeing through bonds and relationships. The Camarilla would be safe as long as its members adhere to certain social contracts, making their dealings and affinities plain for everyone to see, but that, obviously, remains a pipe dream. This is a community of born conspirators, overly ambitious gangsters and politicians, monsters in denial, all sorts of tragically broken individuals. They really are driven by desires that make them incompatible with the masquerade, incompatible with prolonged survival of a Camarilla, incompatible with the methods I use to operate. And so, I am doomed to be like a cop, constantly insulted behind my back, maybe for a good reason, but immediately called for help whenever someone loses their tableware. Or like an Agatha Christie protagonist, outwardly assisted by everyone but constantly lied to about everyone's past and motivations, even if my failure to solve the mystery might be the end of us all. He's just rambling, man.
He is. He tries to sound like he's peacefully resigned to his fate, but it's easy to detect a tinge of regret in his voice. A voice belonging to someone who once had bigger ambitions than this. What broke him?
So you see, for this detective, the why done it is far more important than who done it or how done it. When you understand all the players and their mutual obligations, you easily understand every crime. But of course the Kindred know that, so they devise ways to make my job much harder, just like the conspiracies between two unrelated actors that depend on scratching each other's backs for mutual security. Or they enforce a blood bond to make someone unexpected their thrall, a boss serving their employee, a rebel serving a tyrant, just because one is regularly being forced to drink another's blood. What has Sophie seen in you? Why does the prince keep asking me about your actions? How come you're being pushed to build your own coterie so fast? You're surrounded by unclear motivations, which you yourself don't understand. That unnerves me, and it should unnerve you as well.
Well, I'm finally gonna speak.
You unnerve me.
This monologue has gone on for long enough.
Oh, why are you here? What is this about, dickweed?
Finally, you manage to raise your voice. Quadir notices the effort and smiles softly.
So you haven't gone mute since the last time I saw you. Good. Well, I'm here for selfish reasons. I need to develop a rapport with you to better fulfill my obligations. The last time we met, I couldn't see you as my equal. Not you, nerdy little Lloyd. Now that you've been accepted... Now that you've been accepted into the Camarilla, what choice do I have? I'd understand if you didn't want to see my face again, but I'm one of the faces of New York City's community but I'm one of the faces of the New York City community, and as long as you're a part of it, it's going to be impossible to avoid me. Especially when I have business with you, and I do. As you might have guessed by now, one of my tasks is uncovering and understanding your bonds. One of them might endanger our community. I bet it's a crazy chick.
Well, that's not menacing at all. Who is he talking about?
Kaiser?
God, he's not your contact or anything.
He's not, but he is creepy.
He is.
You mean someone I'm trying to recruit into my coterie?
Quadir shakes his head.
Damn it, Sophie? I'm monitoring them and they know it. If they're breaking the rules, they're doing it the right way, meaning I haven't learned about it yet. Unless you might want to share something?
A moment of awkward silence.
Joking, mostly.
He produces a file from underneath his coat and passes it to you.
This is our troublemaker.
You open the file and see some printed photos. You freeze up as you recognize the face and are overwhelmed by a flood of repressed memories. His bitch girlfriend! She was the one that pushed him out of the way! I told
She's
you.
stalking him?
Told you. Jessica Lowell. This woman who made the last few years of your life heaven and the last few weeks a living hell. Since she took pretty much everyone you knew with her after the split, you thought the transition to this life would be painless, no baggage at all. Have you thought wrong? You look up at Quadir, expecting an answer.
There are some unfortunate rumors that you committed suicide after a messy breakup. So apparently, Miss Jessica here is desperately immobilizing everyone she knows to look for you.
Well, maybe it wasn't her then.
Turns out she's contacted a lot of people who might recognize you, including some in law enforcement agencies. The risk of endangering us is relatively low, but far from non-existent. Which means she must be stopped.
Must be stopped. Sounds threatening. You dread thinking what he's planning.
I'll arrange for you two to meet tomorrow so that you can straighten the situation out and say goodbye to the life you've forsaken.
He'll arrange what? Your eyes must look like saucers right now.
He's gonna kill her, man. He's gonna kidnap her, and you're gonna talk to her.
He's gonna want me to kill her.
He might. Usually, these matters are left to my discretion, and I can't think of an easier solution. The lost sheep reappears, takes care of unfinished business, and disappears, never to be seen again. Nobody cares. It's simple, it's clean, no contrived schemes, no unnecessary victims. And it gives me an opportunity to learn more about you as I observe when neonates interact with kine they used to hold dear. Their true natures are laid bare for everyone to see. What's a new?
A chill day? It's another word? I don't know. Of course he's invested in being kind to you, or he's making clear his self-serving intentions so that you don't start figuring them out yourself.
Any objections?
Any alternatives are probably worse. You shake your head.
Very well. I'll arrange a meeting and drive you there tomorrow. Better come up with a load of bull that's easy to swallow. Okay, so I guess he's not gonna kill her unless you fail.
I don't know. I don't think it's just gonna go smoothly.
No.
He disappears from the apartment, leaving you as confused as the last time he closed the door on you. Damn
It's all
it!
her fault, though.
You
If
need
he
to
wouldn't
think
have
it
broken up
through.
with you.
True. For a long time, you just sat in your haven, lost in your thoughts, remembering how you once thought your world had ended with her leaving. Whining, sure, but it seems like it was prescient whining. Okay. What was the new word? Neonate.
Neonate.
Yeah, I mean, it's embrace, but more than a fledgling.
Oh, it's a step up.
It's a step up from a chill day.
Well, a chill
Well,
day.
a chill day's not a new one, but
No, it's the what was the there was a derogatory term for
well,
the
fledgling
babies.
is brand new.
No, but there was a remember I Love Beer called us something.
Lick? He called us a lick.
It was a lick. Yeah.
Regent was responsible for the tutelage of all other Tremere.
It is so complex, man.
Really is.
Dude, because like these words, like Tremere, they're only for this clan. So does like each clan have its own different words and different hierarchies?
Maybe, but I guess this is probably a good spot to end it.
Okay. Yeah, we'll pick up talking to people next stream.
Yeah, this was a bit longer than I thought, because we've already played probably about 5 hours.
Oh, at least, because this stream was 2.5 hours, and then we did like 2 to 3 last week, so.
Writing is getting bad. I mean, it was never great, but this stream, like, what the hell's going on in some of these things? Especially the reporter. The reporter was the worst, but there was more. Like, what happened with the freaking gangrel? Like,
I don't know. She just like glitched out, man. Like everything was going good, and then all of a sudden she hated us.
I
Like,
just said I
don't
could
know
make
what's
it worth your
happening.
while, and she's like, took it as an insult. But then
But
he
you
didn't
didn't
even
even
speak
say
it.
it.
I know,
Yeah.
like, I don't know, but the game is, like, going downhill.
It's like they did not proofread this. They didn't beta test it. They just threw it out there.
I think they did. I mean, because we had that one typo where it was like the narration was mixing with the dialogue, and then like the
Yeah.
reporter and the gangrel. Like there was so much like mess ups tonight.
Oh, there's been several typos tonight, like more than last night or last time we played. Like there's a lot of
Yeah.
mistakes. Well, hopefully we can get to the end in one coherent story.
Yeah, hopefully. I mean, maybe next stream, but I don't know. We still have like all those little tasks, so I don't know. So we'll have to see.
I think next stream we might be able to finish it though. Like I thought you said it was around like 6 to 8 hours, something like that. So
Yeah, I'm not sure.
that looks like an eye in the sky.
Yeah, I notice the eye all the time. I didn't notice the apple. I was focused on the eye.
I never noticed the eye until just now. I glanced at my computer screen, and you know the screen's little and little. It's like way more obvious than it is big. I don't know why.
Oh, the eye was the first thing I noticed. Yeah, we'll wrap it up here. Thanks for anybody who joined us, and we will pick this back up again next Tuesday. Maybe finish it, maybe not. We'll have to see.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
hopefully we'll finish up next time. But yeah, thanks everyone. See you next time.
Hooty hoo!
Hooty hoo!
Good night.
Good night, everybody.